Okay, picture this. A new hire starts or a big new project kicks off. And just like that, the chaos begins, right? Who needs access to what? How do you get it to them quickly without, punching a bunch of holes in your security? It's the daily scramble for IT teams everywhere. So today, we're going to dive into how Microsoft Entra entitlement management brings a clear, automated solution to that access chaos. First, we're going to start by unpacking the core problem that pretty much every organization faces with permissions. Then we'll get into the solution and its key building blocks. We'll see how all these pieces come together, look at a really powerful example with terms of use, and then we'll wrap it all up by looking at how this governs the entire user lifecycle from start to finish. So what is the real problem here? Well, at its very core, it all boils down to a fundamental lack of control and visibility. I mean, it sounds so simple, doesn't it? Who has access to what? But if you work in any kind of complex organization, you know it is incredibly difficult to answer. This one single question is the root cause of so many security headaches and productivity bottlenecks. And these challenges, man, they are universal. You've got users who have no idea what to even ask for. Then there's the wild goose chase of trying to find the right person to approve the request. And the big one, users who keep their access way longer than they should. We call that permission creep. And don't even get me started on adding external partners into the mix. That's when the complexity just goes through the roof. So, how do we fix this mess? Well, you have to move away from this manual, chaotic free-for-all and into something structured, something driven by actual policies. And that is exactly what entitlement management does. It's really built on two main ideas. Okay, first up, we've got the catalog. And really, the easiest way to think about this is just like a folder or a container. You can create one for the marketing department, another for a specific engineering project, you name it. But here's the crucial part. It groups all the related stuff together. And you can actually hand over the keys, delegate management, to people who aren't your typical IT admins, like a department head. That's a huge deal. Now, inside those catalogs, you have what are called access packages. And if the catalog is the where, the access package is the what. It's basically a bundle of everything a person needs for a certain role or project. We're talking access to apps, SharePoint sites, security groups, all of it prepackaged and ready to go. All right, so we've got catalogs and access packages. With those two ideas in our back pocket, let's see how they actually work together to turn all that chaos into something clean and manageable. So, getting started is actually pretty simple. You create a container, like this one, for the marketing department. But look, the real magic here isn't just naming a folder or marketing. The game changer is that you're delegating control. All of a sudden, IT isn't the bottleneck anymore. The marketing team can actually manage its own resources. Okay, this is probably my favorite way to think about access packages. Instead of a new employee sending out like a dozen frantic emails begging for access, they just go to this self-service portal, and it looks like a curated menu at a restaurant. They see options like marketing campaign contributor or new product analyst. They click request and boom, the approval process, the expiration dates, it's all built in. No guesswork, no waiting around. Theory is great and all, but let's get into a really powerful real-world example of how this works. Let's talk about making sure every single person who touches your systems agrees to your company's terms of use before they get access to anything. And you know what? The process is so simple, but it's incredibly powerful. You just take your legal document, your PDF, and you upload it. Then you build a policy around it. You can even do things like force people to expand it and scroll all the way through. Once you apply that policy, you instantly have this enforceable, auditable record of who agreed to what and when. And this right here, this is where the magic really happens. A conditional access policy gets created, and the condition is super simple. You have to accept the terms of use that we just set up. If you don't accept, you don't get in. It's this powerful, totally automated gatekeeper for compliance. Now, this kind of automation isn't just for day one, for onboarding. The real long-term security win comes from managing the entire lifecycle of a user, especially when we're talking about those tricky external accounts. All right, let's be honest. We all know that external partner accounts are a huge security risk, mainly because they just get forgotten about. Well, with this system, you can set a simple rule. When a contractor's last project access expires, their account automatically gets blocked from signing in. Then, after a grace period, say 30 days, it's deleted. Gone. This one feature closes a massive, and I mean massive, and very common security hole.
And of course, everything is tracked. This isn't just some boring log file buried somewhere. This reporting dashboard is basically an auditor's dream. You get instant, clear proof of compliance. You know exactly who accepted, who declined, and precisely when it happened. You know, this quote really brings it all home. What we're talking about here isn't just about making life easier for your IT team. This is a core part of a modern zero-trust security strategy. You know, the one that assumes no one is trustworthy by default. You grant the absolute minimum access needed and you review it constantly. This system gives you the tools to actually do that and do it well.
So, as we wrap things up, I want to leave you with a question to think about for your own organization. Right now, is your access management a human gatekeeper? You know, someone who creates friction and slows people down? Or is it an automated gateway that provides the right access to the right people for exactly the right amount of time? Because really, that difference is everything.